Hey guys. I hope you're having a productive day. If you're not, I'm sorry. I wish you utmost love and compassion. So today I got on to talking about fake versus real. So what I'm talking about fake versus real is how many people actually have gone out and bought stones that do not look natural, or they've been manipulated by man in one way. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is a dyed quartz point. So as you can see, and how you can tell the difference is, look at the dye deposits. They don't look natural. Like specifically in here, just look how much it's accumulated at the bottom. That regular, this is its regular color if you get clear white quartz. So in a sense, this is more of a milky quartz. Like you can just tell the difference of all of that. Yes, it's a real quartz crystal, but it has been dyed. So how many, and this is passed off as fake, or this is passed off as some type of crystal or some type of quartz that's naturally not made like that. Another point is this is clear quartz with its forms, and plastic. So initially this can be glass, it could be plastic, it may be crystal, but it's, in a sense, this is a heavy duty plastic, and you can just hear the different sounds. Like, you can just hear the difference. This is a quartz cluster that has been electroplated, meaning it's been heated up and had electrons put in. So in a sense, when I see this, it reminds me of bismuth. So when you hear people talk about electroplated stones, specifically clusters, a lot of times it's referred to shadow aura. Angel aura, aqua aura is the same way. As you can see, it brings out the rainbow within. So this is just a quartz crystal that has been shaped or formed in whatever way, and it's had electrons put in to bring out that color. Turquoise. Now, I talked about turquoise and I talked about dyed howlite. In my case, I call it painted howlite. Let me show you the difference. So this is painted or dyed howlite. So this is mainly used in commercial, if it's not actual real, it's like costume jewelry. So it just looks unnatural to me. It looks like someone just dabbed a sponge, like drew the lines out or carved the lines, and then dabbed it and then wiped. So it looks entirely unnatural to me, as you can see. This is real turquoise, still in its rock or its ore. Again, this is just a very low grade of real turquoise. But this turquoise, this is actual real turquoise. And as you can see, if it's gonna focus, you can see how natural it looks. Malachite. Malachite is a very common stone that has been reproduced. So natural malachite, this is fake because of the banding. It's just way too smooth. It's way too straight. Actual malachite has bubbles and swirls. And so it looks like when you hydro drip, when you drip paint into water, and it just like lobs in one and then spreads out as you pull, as you pour more in. So this is natural malachite. This is real malachite versus this is fake, because look at the dye job. There's just an excess of dye that does not need to be there. Here's another common fake. So this could have been some type of geode. It could have been just a clear cluster point. Anyways, as you can see, the base is just completely dyed. So if they were to pass this off as, say, purple amethyst or just red quartz or anything like that, you can see its counterpart. So this is amethyst. This is natural amethyst. And I'm just comparing the two. As you can see, like everything about this has been completely dyed. It's unnatural. Amber. So a lot of times if you have actual amber, then you know it's a pretty penny to dish out. So this is a polished version of blue amber. So it's very lightweight, it's very beautiful, and this is more of a plastic resin, and I've seen people pass off resin as amber, and it's not simply the case. Opalite. So I don't actually have opalite, but this is more of a resin opalite, and this is very common because opalite is very, very opalescent. It's translucent. It's all this, but no, this is plastic, and that's very common. Another thing is amethyst. So amethyst by nature is usually purple or very a lighter color of purple. Sometimes there's pink, sometimes there's yellow. So yellow amethyst is commonly passed off as citrine. So this is natural citrine. How it's just a beautiful kind of amber honey color. And this is heated amethyst, meaning that they've heated amethyst up and it's revealed its yellow shape. And this is looking burnt. It reminds me of when you burn bread. So can you see the difference? And this is very common, guys. This is very common in fakes, is heated amethyst that they pass off. Obsidian. So when you think obsidian or you look at this, this is Gaia stone, which is green obsidian. And yes, they do actually have this. They have things like this. They have, to my best of knowledge, they have white obsidian. And this looks like opalite in a sense because of its translucent color. So, and then you have something like this, which is obsidian that looks deeply green, almost black, and it's got like specks, so it looks like glitter. Where like little stars, like on a sunny or like a summer night or whatever when there's no clouds in sight. It's like a starry night. And then this is its fake. So this is like a glass or a resin, as you can see. Like just the color difference alone is different. Now, when I initially saw this, I got to thinking about the pebbles that you can get at Michael's for fish tanks, or just like all of those, and this is what I initially thought. So be very careful about what you buy, because a lot of times people will say things like blue obsidian, which does exist, is fake. So be very mindful about that. So yes, as you can see, there is a difference in real Gaia stone versus resin or glass. So this is true selenite, and this is satin spar. So I honestly think it would be really easy if you actually put your mind to it and you got a good specimen of satin spar. You could probably make black kyanite. Don't check me on this, I haven't looked, but it would be very remarkably similar if you could find a way to do so. Next we are going to talk about moldavite. So this is real moldavite. A lot of times moldavite is just glass. It's not a wet look, it's not shiny. There is going to be bubbles. It's, in a sense, it looks very porous. Now this is regular, like a buoy ball. This is glass buoy balls, and a lot of times you will see that they will use some type of wet glass look for fake moldavite. So moldavite comes out of Siberia, Russia, the Czech Republic, somewhere in the Slavic region that once was the Russian Empire at that point. So this is buoy balls. Now you can hear the difference. Listen. So that is the most common way you can spot fakes. Have a couple printed out. Again, we can tell the difference between turquoise. And we were talking about dyed stones with it deposits like this. with malachite being that the banding is just, it's too symmetrical if it looks anything. It just looks completely unnatural. In a sense, this right here, it reminded me of wood patterns, like when you fake wood on laminate. We were talking about citrine with heated amethyst to make a form of citrine. Apparently I can't find that. Oh yes, quartz, smoky quartz. So there are very different versions of smoky quartz. It depends on where you get your specimens. You can get them at the store. You've seen smoky quartz. It just look very beautiful, very dirty. So a lot of times if people were to see this, they would think it would be fake because it's so dark. So this was actually pulled out by my mom when we went camping or rock hunting a few summers ago. So this is actual natural unpolished smoky quartz. Here's another version of smoky quartz. As you can see, it's not smooth, it's not this, and they were found this way. And a lot of times you will see a type of smoky quartz that looks like that. It's just way too dark. It depends on where you get it, is what I'm gonna say to you. Another thing is sounding bowls. I've seen a lot of times, and I've made this kind of faux pas, is singing bowls. So natural singing bowls have a very higher tense frequency versus something like this. This is bought online on a Chinese store. So, I mean, if you're buying overseas, you have to be very careful. And you can hear the difference. It's just like, you know?
Dull thud.
Yeah, thank you. A dull thud. Versus this is for your solar plexus. This was bought. It was gifted. It's different. You can hear it's more of a high pitch frequency that resonates with certain things. I didn't hit it right, but yes. So that's a couple of things that you can look out for when you buy your crystals, is to really look at where you get them, where the specimens are. The sites that you're buying from, like I said, we buy from the Russian store. We've bought a couple times from Amazon. There are a couple reputable dealers. You have to be very wary about where you get things or how they are produced, because a lot of times things like this electroplated quartz crystal is laboratory made, like bismuth. It's laboratory made. I'm not saying that the crystal is specifically, but I'm saying the way it was gone on about the electroplation is laboratory made. Gaia stones. What would you say would be a good site for Gaia stones, so you're not buying glass or resin?
That I don't know for sure, but there is true volcanic green glass. There is true obsidian. Gaia stone is a green obsidian, along with yellow, clear, blue, gray, black, mahogany. It just depends on where you get it from, and it depends on the area that it's pulled out of, because of the chemicals that are in the ground when the volcano erupts. And depending on what's in the chemical makeup of the ground where the volcano is going to erupt from, deep in the earth, the magma, is going to determine the colors that you get. And it depends on how fast it cools. So if it cools super fast, that's how you get obsidian. If it cools slow, that's how you get like lava rock, kind of crumbly.
Yeah. Porous, like God, I can't even. You know what I'm talking about that you clean your sink with?
Pumice.
Yeah, that. Thank you.
So if it cools slow, you're going to get like a pumice or a lava rock. If it cools fast, you're going to get obsidian. So it just depends on the area. Like I said, with the Hawaiian volcano is a good place for peridot. It's basically a green volcanic glass. Just technical term is, peridot. But it's still a green volcanic glass. So it depends on the chemical makeup of the ground and where you get it.
So my question is for you, it's like if you knew what you knew now about rocks, like would you have bought less of these faker brands or crystals like this? Like heated amethyst?
No, because they all serve a purpose. They will still...
Or like this. This to me looked like glass, but apparently this is actual quartz. In a sense. So this is used to contrast.
So just because it's like, let's say, amethyst heat treated to citrine, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't alter the chemical makeup of the quartz itself, which is where you're getting your energy and vibration from. So it's got 3 energies working for it. So it's got the energy of the quartz itself, it's got the energy of the original amethyst, then it's got the energy of the altered amethyst to citrine. So you have 3 energies and vibrations coming from it. So it's still really good. And just remember, you have to program it. So if you actually want it to be amethyst, just program it as amethyst. If you want it to be citrine and the attributes that citrine comes with, then you program it for citrine. Quartz is, you can program it for anything that you need it to be. If you want it to be malachite, you can program it to be malachite. If you want it lapis, you can program it to lapis lazuli. So it just depends. Quartz is one thing that you need in your magical toolkit because you can program it for anything and everything that you would ever need.
So, yeah, I was talking about this. So, this is a polished version of real malachite, and this is what malachite would look like in its raw form. So, if you handle this, please wash your hands after. Don't touch your face, don't touch your nose, because you can poison yourself. So, yes, this is what a mineral version of malachite looks like. And as you can see, you can tell the difference between the two. What would you specifically say or give advice to for those who are kind of like stuck in their path or stuck in their way, or they're starting when it comes to having these spiritual tools at their disposal?
Learn the building blocks. You want very basic 8 stones. If you have 8 stones, rainbow colors, plus 1 clear quartz, you have for all your chakras. That you can use that vibration to harmonize your aura field, your chakras, clean them out. If you're going to sage, make sure that it is ethically sourced. If you're going to go gather it yourself, give up something of yourself personal, like hair if you're a smoker, tobacco. Ask for permission that you take from the land, and you give back your personal stuff, as in hair, tobacco, and a prayer saying thank you to Mother Earth for giving it to you or letting you take it and use it for your personal reasons. Learn how to sage. Learn how to protect yourself. Always surround yourself in a white light. White is God. However you want to believe in the higher power, God, the creator, the universal source, the ball, whatever you want. Always give thanks. Always give more than what you take. Learn how to clean your stones, reprogram your stones, charge your stones. Just your building blocks. And from those building blocks, then you go into much more knowledge, which is easier to attain, whether it's through dreaming, tarot, divination, using a pendulum, third eye. It's just, all I can say is like your 7 stones, 8 plus your quartz, learning to sage, programming, cleaning. It's pretty much your building blocks.
Here's a couple more examples of fake stones that have been dyed. So you have things like this. This could actually be just a white stone, could be halite, could be whatever. And you can see all these dry deposits of ink that are just everywhere. This could be Dalmatian jasper that has just been dyed to enhance the color, and it just looks very unrealistic. This is maybe a type of agate, and you can tell the smudging, the ink, whatever dye that was just put in there, it did not get released. This one is a telltale sign that it has been dyed. It looks super unrealistic. This one looks like it's been wiped off. And then you have another version of this where it just looks like, yeah.
I do want to interject back to Moldavite. Moldavite is rare, and basically you're gonna buy it by the gram. If you buy it like as in a single stone, and they charge you like a low price, like $5 or something like that for just a single stone, pretty much gonna be fake.
With the moldavites that you have, either around your neck, what you've given to so-and-so, or your earrings, how much have you paid for your earrings specifically?
So for my earrings, I paid $45 for my earrings. For my 3 single pieces,
which were really small, they were like this, that she put together.
I paid like $7-8 a gram, which a single stone is probably $16-18, and it's a probably smaller, about the nickel size to a dime size. Paid $16 to $20 a stone for it.
Okay, so my question is, this looks like opalite because there is some type of rainbow in it, or is this just supposed to be like regular obsidian, like white obsidian or clear obsidian?
Clear obsidian.
Because it looks very opalesque. There's a translucent color in there.
Again, I'm not a geologist, so I am not for sure on the chemical makeup of it. So, like I said, it depends on where it comes from and what's in the chemical makeup of the ground is what's going to determine the color of. I am not sure on how to actually know if a cut and polished stone is actual true obsidian. Now, if it's in raw form, I'd be able to tell you, because I collect enough of it. I go out rock hounded enough of it.
So what she's saying, if it's obsidian, is we specifically have different forms. We have mahogany, we have chocolate, we have gray, we have black.
Rainbow.
Yeah. So this, in a sense, is very gray. This is mahogany. Do you have any pieces of, like, mahogany that's been split open?
Yeah, rainbow.
What is this? That's electroplated, isn't it?
Oh,
Or heated?
That's ametrine. That's amethyst, citrine, and something else in it.
Yeah. You've seen this is black amethyst. There is various different things. I've seen white. I mean, honestly, you ever have the conversation with her about this white obsidian head? Like, it was a spear point. That we were out as, she used to take us out during the summer, during the fall, to this place we call the Bowl. And it's just like a hill with an indent in the middle. And, we used to go out there in, like, the early or late transition into fall when there was no snakes.
So there's a dark gray, black, mahogany.
So this is black, this is gray, and then mahogany. Didn't you have chocolate? Or did you give that away? I'm just like all over the place. Anyways, so we had one time, we were out there, her, myself, my brothers, we were looking for arrowheads, and I mean, there's just so much arrowheads out here, like this. In a sense, this has been worked, it's not been chipped, it's not a complete arrowhead, but there's just so much that we have laying around the house. Here's one, as you can see. Anyways, we were going, and my mom stopped by this point that was probably this. It was white. Anyway, she stopped by it, and it was laying under a piece of sage. Completely missed it. My brother was walking back, and he found it, and her, like, right next to her boot print. I'm talking about the arrowhead that
chocolate.
Oh yeah, and this is chocolate. I was talking about the arrowhead that, yeah, found. Yeah, I've used that. And your boot print was right next to it, and you totally missed it.
Yep, just wasn't meant for that time. So that's kind of like the rainbow.
And this is like a striation. In a sense, if you were to actually look at this gray actually looks like a deeper kind of gray purple. So yeah, there's just different things that you can do to protect yourself and protect your investment when you buy stones. Because half of the time, how many have gone to stores you bought on certain sites? I know I see a lot on Instagram of things that are kind of like rose quartz that have an electroplation on it, and it's not natural, and they're charging a pretty penny. I've seen like a small little like pendulum, and they want like $50 for it, for a quartz that's electroplated pink, or a rose quartz that it's electroplated just to bring out its rainbow-esque like properties. And I've seen amethyst do the same thing, and it's just like, why are you paying all of this money? It's unnatural. You may get something out of it, or you look cool, but honestly, it's like, what properties does it have for you to buy it, other than aesthetically it looks pleasing? What would you say, stone-wise, what would be a good protection stone that's either, if they don't have it, amethyst, lapis, obsidian, tourmaline, smoky quartz, turquoise. What would be a good protection stone would you recommend?
Obsidian or black diamond.
I'm saying if they didn't have it.
Quartz. Clear quartz. Because remember, clear quartz.
You can program it.
You can program it to take on the characteristics of.
What would be a good stone? Not protection stone. Say if they want to put like a little satchel together of just different stones. What would you recommend if people wanted to remove negativity or have good luck or some type of thing that they can do every single day that they can carry on their persons? Just, going about their daily life. What would be stones that you would recommend?
For protection, any black stone is good for protection. Smoky quartz is good for protection. Turquoise is good for protection. Now, if you are looking at like protection from, according to Native American mythology, turquoise is amazing for protection from the evil. So, and again, you can program your quartz for that. Citrine, aventurine, real citrine, green aventurine is good for prosperity. Tiger's eye, brown tiger's eye is good for prosperity. Pyrite is good for prosperity.
So when she was saying brown tiger's eye, it's like gold and it's brown. I mean, it's somewhere over there. There are many different types of tiger's eye. We have blue. You've seen black, haven't you?
No, there's blue, green, red, and brown.
So most commonly you see tiger's eye. It's more of a golden yellow color. I got nothing.
When you were talking about pendulums, divination, you don't have to have necessarily a stone. If you just have, say for instance, a piece of string and a paperclip, you can ask, bless it of course, program it. That's a whole other talk. Attach the paper clip to a piece of string. Program it. Yes, no answer. Which way is it going to be? Which way is it going to swing? And you can actually use that instead of a stone pendulum.
Hacks out here, guys. Hacks. I didn't even know that. I mean, it would be light enough for a spirit to move. So, I mean, there's that. Just be very careful and very mindful about what you channel in and make sure you set boundaries. If you're going to do that, you're going to ask. Make sure that knowledge is being truthful. There's no deceit. And if there is a deceit, ask. Say 2 questions, 2 no, 2 yes, whatever. Basically 2 truths and a lie. And go from there. So if they can't answer truthfully for whatever question that you know, but they don't know or this spirit doesn't know, then you need to get rid of that. Send that channel and basically just, you're done, you're over with. I know it sounds bad, but how many times have people actually gone about and they've got misinformation? In a sense, my first thought in my head when you said that was be very mindful about the information that you ask, because some spirits are, they're, God, what do I want to say?
Tricksters?
No, but I'm saying some of them just, they can't answer those questions because they can't answer it. You know what I mean? They're not privy to that information.
You want the spirit coming through. When you ask for a spirit to come through, you want to, after you figure out yes or no, you want to say in your little prayer kind of thing, answers will only come from the highest of high energy. No lower or lesser energy can come through. So only God source energies and spirits are allowed to come through and answer my questions.
Oh, there's such a mess here. Okay, so this could be a part 2. Honestly, it very could. So let's check in on how your guys' journey is going. So we have this card, and this is talking about be cunning about how you go about things, make your decisions, how do I want to say that? Not make your decisions, but basically be very, not deceitful, not manipulative, because you have to put in this work. You have to be very calculated about how you go about the things to get where you want. So follow through. This is a very cunning follow through card that I'm seeing. Okay. So we have this, and this is talking about balancing yourself, but still able to know where your boundaries are lying. And basically, if you have a lot of something, or even just a little bit of something, you can give back in your own way. Just make sure you're balanced. You're not bending over backwards for someone, because you will break. And we need to be balanced at this point. We need to be very meticulous about it. Again, here's a balanced decision that needs to be made, whether or not you do it, whatever path, both light or dark. You need to make this decision. There is an outcome to come about things. A Knight of Swords. So initially I thought, look how gallivanting this person is about doing something. There is just an air about him that is just straight into battle. And battle is something regardless of the outcome. This person is quicker to rise about something, and maybe not necessarily the best. So again, be calculated, create your battle plan, do whatever, and don't be quick to rise about doing something. Maybe someone's going to say something about how you look that day and get a rise out of you, because they're having a bad day and they just were like, ugh, you know, and I want to say, and I can't say it, they're just mean for no reason, trying to get a rise out of you. So be careful. Again, for those, and this card is many different things, whether if you divine with the masculine, in a sense, this is more of a masculine card, is don't go out and seek the world right now. This is something that needs to come to you. You'll figure it out. You'll cultivate your garden, and it's really just going through what you need in your life and what you don't need. So if you have people in your life that are coming to you with BS, like, just let them know you're not in the place. If they're not coming to you for love or supporting you on your journey, or they're making it out to seem like you're the bad guy and it's guilt tripping, let these people go, because that's toxicity you don't need. Again, this is showing you what you can acquire, how you can do more. In a sense, when I see this, I think of a guy that's standing out in a balcony on his island, and he has all these things, or he's looking at the world on a pedestal at this point, thinking and following through about what he can acquire, what can he do. So in a sense, I get, in a sense, a very, very deep sense, is there is so much to give for this. Just be calculated about how you go about things. So this talks about there is maybe a fight within yourself or a fight with other people, and this is what that looks like in this card. So there is a fight within you. There is obstacles to overcome about just doing all of that. What obstacles are we facing collectively? What obstacles are we looking at shadow-wise? What are the obstacles we may be facing? In a sense, not only within ourselves about how we're going about things as the obstacle. Another thought in mind was how are you looking at the world right now? How are you looking at a political sphere? How are you just really thinking about things in general, and how legacy-wise, not even legacy, but how that core relates to you, whether it's your community within yourself. So I first initially got the thinking about there is an internal fight within yourself right now. Again, see things for what they are and not what they could be, is this card. And it seems like you're getting stabbed in the back, man. Like, illusions are stabbing you in the back and you're hurting yourself, is what I get off of these two. So see things for what they really are. Be grounded about how you see things, because the things that are going about in general, it's what I'm saying, is don't be illusioned. The Hanged Man. So the fact that I have this upright, so downright, this is talking about a sacrifice will come about doing something, but it's like, don't sacrifice for the wrong reasons. If you're saying, oh, I'm going to do this because I want to gain a partner, no, you're going about it because you're doing it for something else. You're doing it for a gain. You have to do it for you. You can't do it for someone else. And this is what I'm saying, is do not do whatever you're manifesting or the work that you're doing to bring someone in or bring something in. You have to do it for you. You have to want this for you. You have to better yourself for you, because no one else is going to do it. And finally, the Chariot. And this is a very, how do I want to go? You're the leader, the ringleader. You call the shots. You know, no one can make that decision for you. You have to make it for yourself, because things will go so left so quick if you let other people make this decision for you, because they will, not in a necessarily wrong manner, say, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to derail you. You got to take the reins of your own life. You have to live life how you see fit. You have to make the decisions for yourself. And I see this, is don't derail yourself for someone else, because they're on a different path, is what I get. So thank you. I hope you find this informative. Yeah, you met Mom. So yeah, sorry I didn't introduce you. That's Mom. That's Chris. So thank you. Well,
Final word for thought.
No.
Pick
your battles.
no for overall spirituality. My path is not the same as Michelle's path. Your path is your own, to learn from, to gather knowledge, and to follow your path. Pick and choose from different religions, spirituality, Wiccan, earth magic. Pick what resonates with you and run for it. Run with it. Don't follow someone else's path, because it's not, it won't be right for you. Pick bits and pieces and let the rest go.
Again, she just touched on that. Thank you. That cleared that up in just, what, 1, 2, 3, 5 cards? So what she's saying about that is there is no intended cultural appropriation, because you're not passing off someone's culture as your own. When I was going through it, I was really influenced by the Buddha because of the peace and just the lessons that this person who gained this type of knowledge that really passed on to basically help other people. So a lot of, like, 4 or 5 years ago, I was really influenced upon the Buddhist way of thinking, because yes, it's a very tumultuous time, and yet it brought me a sense of peace and serenity. It really brought me back to what I was going through, and it made me really internalize what was going on in the world and what was in my own bubble, if that makes any sense. So that, to me, if, like in my bedroom, you see the Buddha statue that's on my little cubby stand thingy that I record here and there. And that just brings me a really good prophetic peace, in a sense, to know that there are things out there that you can relate to and you can draw off of, and it can give you power. It can empower you to do better. So what really I'm seeing is, if you're having conflict in yourself, another thing that came to mind is for those who are going about things where they have people in their life or people are making comments on social media about you being spiritual because you've gone through mainstream religion and you've done away with it. Not maybe done away, but you respect someone because it's their respect or their belief system, but you know that you resonate with something bigger and more profound because it brings you an inner sense of this is who you are, is really owning your light. Because people will try to tell you, oh, this is wrong, this is not. I've learned from firsthand experience, people will not always be kind about it. But knowing the fact that you yourself know what you believe in, so you really have to run with that. You really have to own that and be you, because no one else is going to be you unless you be you. And people are going to sit there and they're going to watch and they're going to do this and that. And yes, there are parasitic people in that, not just vampirism, but they will sit there and eat with an open mouth and they want off of your plate because you are doing something entirely different. So really owning your own inner voice and protecting that voice and standing up for yourself, no matter what goes on in life, will get you so far, because you're empowering yourself, you're empowering someone else. Because in a sense, I'm seeing that you're starting off right now, but what's to say in a year or two from now that people come into your life and they'll be like, oh, you know what? Like, I saw you doing this. I saw you struggle. This is something that is a very role model. And how many people out there can say that they're a role model to someone for being empowered, for doing things that they were called to do? And they owned it. So really, own your voice, own your light, own you is all I can say. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. Thank you.